Well, hello all. I'm going to have a very exciting broadcast today because I'll be meeting with Joe from England, and we know one another from one Chicago, and there she is. So I'm going to invite her. I have to say, it's pretty cool to be doing a live with someone. Hey, there you are!
Hi,
Oh, so good to see you
see you.
finally! So how are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. Not too bad.
Okay. Is it the first time you are doing an IG live, or
Sorry. So,
is it the first time you are doing an
yes,
IG live?
yes. Yeah,
Oh,
first
okay.
time. Yeah,
So
very
can
first
you hear
time.
me just fine,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can hear you
or?
fine.
Okay. So people don't know this about me. Probably they know it about you. I mean, your
Yeah.
handbook gives it away. But the most of us are, I believe, pretty big fans of Chicago PD.
Yeah, oh yes, definitely. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So it's
Jason Beghe.
absolutely. I love what he does when it comes to interviews. So
Oh
so what?
yes, he's brilliant. He's fantastic interviews. I love listening to him and watching him speak. He's just so interesting. Very, very
Oh,
interesting.
absolutely. What do you think is most interesting about him?
I think his charisma. Um, when he does interviews, he's very passionate, and he when he talks, it just you just mesmerise. He's just such an interesting person in himself, you know. Obviously, like I watched the Scientology videos of him when he left, and it was like 2 hour long, and it was just amazing, absolutely amazing. Absolutely loved it. It was just really, 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 really interesting, the things that he was coming out with, and obviously what happened with him on there. And it's just absolutely amazing, really, really is. He's just an amazing guy all around. And I've been a fan since the 1990s. So, you know, it's just amazing. I think he's an amazing guy, really
Well,
talented actor, very well
then you
talented.
have seen his
Really,
entire process.
yes, he is absolutely amazing. And he should have had more roles, I think, in more films. He should have been given more, because playing Hank Voight is just absolutely amazing. I absolutely love him playing it. He really, really plays such a good part. He's such a talented actor, and he deserves more recognition, I think, as well. Definitely,
What do you like
definitely.
best about him?
I love his character. I love the way he presents himself when he plays a character. He really, really gets into it, you know, and that's what I love about him. No matter what character they throw at him, he's really interesting. He plays it really, like he really looks into it, and it's like, oh yeah, well, I need to do this and I need to do that, and it's like, oh yeah, I quite like that. I quite like the idea of that. And like Monkey Shines, when he plays the paraplegic, and it was just absolutely amazing. Like it must have taken him such a long while to try and play a character like that, because it's not a simple character to play. So it's like really, really, you know, but he just played it absolutely amazing. Just he's just so talented. He's really good actor. And as I said, Hank Voight, nobody else could ever play that part but him. They couldn't give it to anybody else. He is Hank Voight. They
Yeah,
could
that's true.
never replace
So
him.
what have you when we go to Monkey Shines, because I believe it's very interesting film, and for those who haven't seen it, it's about someone who ended up in a wheelchair, and
Yeah,
when you see the first few minutes, I mean, just look at his physique. Wow.
yeah,
I've been looking at it and I was like, okay, how do you get, a physique like that? Then you have to train a lot. And then next to be only in a wheelchair, only able
exactly.
to
Yeah,
move his head.
yeah. It's not an easy part to play. I mean, playing any disabled person, it's not. It can't be easy. I mean, my 16-year-old daughter, she's doing acting. She's gone into acting, and like she does all different parts, and she said and she's watched Jason obviously because she's been brought up around him because of me, so obviously she's had no choice but to watch. And she was like saying, you know, like when they do their pieces at college, and she said how to get into a part like that, it's just so extraordinary because you've got to literally get into that character, and to be someone that's disabled and play that part, it's just like, she said it's just amazing how he plays it. And I mean, she's only 16 and she absolutely loves that film as well. It's one of her favourites because of the way he portrays a character. He really, really does well. I think it's just amazing.
Yeah, there are some other things I like about it, but I probably shouldn't say it on an IG live. But I was talking to another friend, and she said, "Oh, he's showing some things that people can do, men can do as well." But that wasn't what I was going to talk about. You probably know what I mean. Certain
Yeah.
things. Uh, anyway, have you ever been around disabled people, or have you ever experienced something yourself?
My husband was disabled the last 6 years before he passed away from COVID last year. He had a lot of problems, and he a year before he passed away, he was actually in a wheelchair towards the end. Obviously, he had a lot of issues, and obviously lung problems. He was diabetic as well, asthmatic, and obviously with the COVID, he he went into hospital last year on Good Friday, and he passed away on Easter Sunday, and it was really, really quick. And it was hard, you know, because we've been married, we've been together like 25 years. And it was just really, really hard, especially for our youngest, my 16-year-old, because she went through depression, anxiety. She was really, really bad, really bad. She suffered it because she was a daddy's girl. You know, their relationship was really, really close. They had such a tight bond, and it affected her so much because my eldest two, it's their stepdad, but they see him as their dad because he brought them up from early age, you know. And it was really, really hard. So I've been around, and my stepmom, she became in a wheelchair. So I have been around people that are disabled. So I know what that's like. But seeing like my husband go through it as well, it's very hard work. It's not easy taking care when people say, "Oh yeah, but you're yeah, disabled." It's not easy. It's very hard work to deal with. It's not an easy job.
Yeah, I agree with you
Not
that
at
it's
all.
very hard.
Not.
So is it because of him being a diabetic that he got into a wheelchair?
Yeah, yeah. Through he lost some toes, bless him, and he got to the point where he lost a part of his heel, so he couldn't walk. He ended up with cellulitis a lot, holes in his legs due to the diabetes, and he was just really, really suffered. But he started getting better a month before he passed away. He started to get back around on his crutches, and he was doing really, really well. And was like, "Oh yeah, you know, he's going to be walking again." You know, they was fitting him for boots and everything. And then obviously COVID come along, and because of the problems he had, it just literally took his life so quick. And it's
I'm
now 18 months that he's been gone, but it just don't seem possible. You know,
yeah,
really, really
I'm so
hard.
sorry to hear this.
Yeah,
It's
thank you.
especially when you think things are going better again, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, boom, and he's taken away. And you know, it's hard. Believe me, it's hard. I mean, I have breakdown. I have good days. I have bad days. You know, and 1 minute I'm fine, next minute I'm in tears, and you know, because I miss him so much. He was my soulmate, my best friend, and the love of my life. And it's just all just gone in a matter of seconds. You know, and
Yeah.
obviously we couldn't be with him, and that was harder for the children because they couldn't say goodbye to him, and it was just awful. The last they saw was him going out in an ambulance. That was the last they saw of their dad.
Okay,
So, you
so
know,
how long was he in the hospital for?
he went in on Good Friday and passed away Easter Sunday,
Oh
4:30 in the
wow.
morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. They rang me at 4:30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's quick.
yeah. And I got to
So
spend 10 minutes with him on the Saturday when they told me there was nothing they could do. But he was alert. I had 10 minutes with him. I had to go and see him, and it was horrendous, absolutely horrendous walking in here because I had to be full up with PPI, like all the outfits, like gloves, everything. I couldn't touch him, couldn't hold him. All I could do was, because I had gloves on, was to hold his hand. And he was talking to me, and he knew he was dying. And it was so hard because seeing him there, struggling to breathe, and there's nothing I could do. And after 10 minutes, I had to go. But as I was coming out of the room, I was taking off all my stuff, and there was a little bay window. And I looked through that window, and he's staring at me, and I see a teardrop go down his eyes. And I knew that was the last I was going to see him. And it was the most hardest thing ever to go through. You know,
thank you
it's,
so much for sharing this.
really,
That's,
you're welcome.
but what would you like to tell other people when it comes to COVID, for instance, or
Oh,
when it comes to that
people,
last moment?
well, I'm not sure what other countries, how they're dealing with it. In UK, our Prime Minister is just a total waste of space because he's just let everybody now go without masks. Don't have to wear them. Public transport, you don't have to wear them. My daughter's just got over it. She was fighting COVID. She was very, very ill, very poorly. And she wears a mask all the time. She goes to college, she wears a mask. And, and she ended up catching it. And it's ridiculous. You go on a train, people coughing, spluttering, no mask, touching everything. And I'm like, it's never going to go but he just doesn't seem to care. It's just, and I advise people to just wear them, protect yourself. It's not worth, what's the point in letting yourself get ill, end up in hospital? You could die. And it's just terrible. People need to really, really, really pull themselves together.
Yeah, I've noticed that, and I was actually surprised to learn it that quite a number of people around me haven't been vaccinated, and one of
It's,
them actually has a pretty good reason because she's allergic to all this stuff. So I can understand that she's very very careful because she says I could get allergic to certain medication,
yeah,
which is um, well, she really needs it to in order to be able to live daily life.
yeah,
And there's one who has a burnout, so okay, that person is excused as far as I'm concerned too. But there are also so many people who say, "Oh, I just don't care," you know. Uh,
and it's not right. No, this is the thing. So many people just don't care, and you've got these anti-COVIDs. Oh yeah, this and that. They're putting poison in you, blah blah blah. And it's like, well, that's their choice. Everybody's got their own choice in life. It's up to them what they want to do, and I guess it's just the way they want to deal with it. It's just one of them things, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it is true. I have to say that I've been struggling with my health most of my life. Unfortunately, I'm asthmatic, but that's not have that hasn't been my main problem. My main problem has been my mobility, especially the last
Mm,
7 years. And of course, my allergies are increasing. So wherever I go, I
yeah.
have to take this medication list. But I was talking to some other people and I was wondering about this, and you have seen your husband literally, being taken away from you,
Yeah.
and also those last 6 years before that, when you saw him, going
Yeah.
downhill. And I've been wondering about this. Is there anything you would want to say to other people who do not take their health seriously?
Oh, basically, they need to take their health seriously because, as I said, just like that, he was fine. He was doing well, and then bang, he gets a temperature, fever, and he starts like feeling sick, and then bang, he was in hospital, and he was dead following 2 days. People just need to really, really take care of themselves and really see what this COVID has done to people. the thousands and thousands and thousands of people around the world. So many people have died from it. And yet some people still walk about going, oh, they didn't die from it. Oh, it wasn't COVID. It's this and that. If it wasn't COVID, then what the hell was it? Because it wasn't the flu. Because it wouldn't have killed this amount of people. So, you know, people really, really need to take it into consideration. Like, they need to take more care of themselves. They need to just get the vaccine, protect yourself. You know, I mean, it's no different from having a flu jab. So, you know, if people have flu jab, why can't they have this jab? I know, like, obviously, you have got these people. Some people, like, are worried if side effects later on in life, or because we don't know. But if it's going to protect you, then have it. You know, it's, I suppose, as I said, everybody's got their own opinion. Everybody's got their own opinions, you know. And I suppose in some way you can't blame them because, you know, because we don't know what we're putting in our body. We don't know what's going in, what's going to happen 2 or 3 years. Exactly. You don't know what's going to happen 2 or 3 years down the line, whether people are going to be fine with it or, you know, we don't know. It's just one of them risks. But I had mine done, you know, so I just want to make sure, you know, my family are all protected and, you know, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a difficult discussion. I mean, I can understand that the young people say, I don't want to do it. Then again, I also see that COVID can lead to all these inflammations of your organs, especially long term. So it's, yeah, I consider it difficult. But you know, if you're not vaccinated, please keep distance. You know, all that stuff. Take precautions. That's what I would say. But that's yeah, that's not exactly what I wanted to talk to you about. So what helped you through your husband passing away? Because you said for 6 years it wasn't going very well. Then the things were seeming better. You know, he was starting to walk again with crutches, and then suddenly in a week it was over and done with. So, how have you lived those last 6 years, knowing that something could happen?
Oh, I mean, it was always like, always had it on my mind, like, oh my God, what if he has, you know, he could end up dying. Because he was in hospital, he had 7 blood clots on one lung and 5 on the other, and he nearly passed away with that. He was like a cat with 9 lives, basically. We used to call him a cat with 9 lives because he just survived everything. And this is the thing, it was so annoying because the year before the COVID he passed, he was in hospital 3 times, nearly died, sepsis, he pulled through. And then COVID comes along, just like that, gone. And it's like, oh my God, he just fought everything. And then that comes along and he's gone. It's like, that's impossible. How is that possible? You know, and it was hard. It was struggle. We had struggles. It was hard. It's not easy. As I said, it's not easy living with someone that's disabled, you know, because your life changes, you know, everything changes around you. You can't do the normal things that every families could do and things like that, you know, and it was hard on my children, especially my youngest, you know, because she wanted to do things with her dad because she done theatre, dance work, and a lot of times he couldn't go because he couldn't get upstairs to see her and watch her because it was like big theatre places that just had stairs, it didn't have lifts, so he missed out on all that. You know, and it's things like that that you look at and you think, oh my God, you know, and I think that's what affected her quite a lot because he'd missed out on so much, you know, and now he's gone. It's, you know, she was saying, he's not going to see me graduate, he's not going to see me do this. I said, but he will be there. He will be there. You're not going to see him, but he will be there. He's always going to be in your heart. I said, no matter what, he will always be there, you know. So it's, yeah.
Who is supporting you? Who's supporting your children?
They have, my daughter has counselling. In fact, they're all having counselling at the moment for it. I'm still waiting for mine. It's a nightmare here. Oh my God, trying to get counselling is just ridiculous. I don't know what it's like where you are, but here it's like a 6 to a year waiting list, no matter how severe. Even with the pandemic, even by losing someone, it's still not that easy. And I have really close friends, and I've made two on here. My love for Jason Beghe, that's Marion. She is absolutely adorable. I love her to bits. She has been there for me so much. She's just such a lovely person. And she really makes me happy. She makes me smile. We talk every day, and someone from runs a page called SWAT. Her name's Tina. She's another lovely lady. She always talks. We video call as well, and it's nice. And obviously, I met talking to you, and it's just nice. I've actually made some really good friends through being a Jason Beghe fan. So it's all thanks to him that I've
Yes,
got these
I
friends.
agree.
Because without him, I wouldn't have met these people. And it's like, oh my God, and I've made friends for life, and it's amazing, and it's all down to Jason Beghe. He's
Isn't that amazing that, that we share this passion? We are one huge
yeah,
community, and
yeah.
now we're talking about different
And your
things.
love for
But
something, you know what I mean? Just through watching a character in a show and how it's become, oh my God, and it's like it's changed because they've really helped me. And I did this page purely for something to focus on. Because as I said, I've been a big fan, and my husband watched the show as well, and we was all fans of it. And as I said, I've been a big fan. So one of my friends said, well, why don't you just do a page on Instagram? I went, I'm a bit old for that. I'm 52 years old. What do I want to do a fan page for? No, go on, do it. I reckon it'll do well. No, all right then, I'll try. I'll do one. I said I'll do one on Jason, and that's when I put the jbeghe UK Foundation, and obviously the people started following. Now I'm over 5,000 followers, and I've only had it since halfway through August,
oh
and
wow,
I can't believe how popular it's become, but it's just amazing how you can, by doing something like that, how you can meet people and become friends with people around the world. It's amazing, absolutely amazing, and it's just, and I love doing the page now, and it makes me happy, and it makes other people happy because the comments I get and inboxes saying, I really love your page. I'm so glad. And it's so nice to get them comments, and I'm thinking, oh, good, at least I'm making other people happy. They're watching the Jason Beghe smile and the little videos I put, and it makes them happy. So I'm happy, they're happy, and I'm thinking, oh, good, it's doing really well. So,
well, what I really love about the page is that you are sharing those little tidbits, which
yeah,
gives us an insight, with the interviews and all that stuff.
yeah,
And well, you know about the giving tree, of course. I mean, you helped me
yeah,
read that, see that one, and you may know that I've done several videos about the giving
yeah,
tree, and I actually use it now to 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 make people aware of how much are you giving away of yourself, and where do
yeah,
you set boundaries,
yeah,
and that's what I really love about the guy. I mean, he was, with Chicago. He also said, okay, take your role in the COVID-19 and what's happening, and there's what I call my one word, which spread the word of global. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
now use hashtag inclusion. I didn't know that word. In the Netherlands, we don't have that word. so so I had to look it up, and I was like, oh, but I know that. I mean, I'm a coach myself. I'm a coach in therapist,
yeah,
and I've got clients who have autism, for instance, who are depressed and would like to run away for the world. They've been homeless, so some of them have tried to commit suicide. Some of them have actually, one of them has
yeah,
succeeded, unfortunately.
mm,
Um, and I have to say that when that one client succeeded, that was in June last year, during the beginning of COVID.
yeah,
Um, it was not necessarily one Chicago, but Chicago fire, which really pulled me through it. And then, of course, because of Chicago Fire, I started watching all the other stuff. And in America, I always had the chance when I would travel over there to watch all those shows. So I loved
Yeah,
watching those shows. But then we here, back in Europe, so I don't know how it's in England, but in the Netherlands, it's on and off that you can actually watch it. So,
yeah. Well, see, in England, I mean, season 9 now won't start till on a channel called 5 Star until next year. But I've been naughty. I've downloaded it. I have it all on DVD, like seasons 1 to 8. I've got them all on DVD, and I've got it all on my YouTube. I bought it all when it first came out. It was all on my YouTube. So, but and it did. I watched it all through, like, and it helped me, because when you go through things, like when I was watching Chicago Med and all that, when I was going through the pandemic and, and things like that, and it makes you realise that it was actually going on and it's real life. And when I watched a couple of episodes on that, I was literally sobbing because it was bringing back memories of my husband. It was
yes,
like,
of course.
I've been through that. I watched someone, it's like, and yeah, it's just, I think the one Chicago, I think they're amazing, absolutely amazing channels. I think how Dick Wolf has brought them all together when they do the crossovers, and I think it's amazing, absolutely amazing, amazing work what they all do. And I think all the actors and actresses from all of them are just amazing people.
I
And I think the
agree. I
way they,
agree.
yeah,
And
they're really,
when watching Chicago Med, especially April, who was on the COVID
yeah,
department
yeah,
doing her,
it
her
was really,
thing, and seeing their struggles,
mm,
like, okay, how are we
yeah.
going to
And it's like,
battle this?
and I was seeing it because when I went to the hospital to see my husband, I could see how they were like, covered, and oh my God, they was constantly, and it's watching it, it was like, oh my God, they're actually doing the real thing because this is
Yes,
actually going on.
yes,
Because we got programs over here called Casualty, which is like Chicago Med and ER and all that. It's like Casualty, and they did like a 2 special day event all around the COVID, like, and one of their people died of it. And watching that, and you know what I mean, and how the Chicago Med team they were just amazing how they did it. I think it was absolutely fantastic the way they did the show. I mean, give my hands to them. It must have been hard for them to play that part, knowing that it was actually going on. So people dying of COVID. So actually playing that part in Chicago Med, I think they were all just amazing. They did so brilliant, absolutely amazing work, all of them. I think
yeah,
they were
I
loved.
totally agree. Also, the one who started doing the work from home, that you
Mm,
could actually see her on her iPad or tablet, and then still running the hospital, but
yeah,
doing it from home. And I was like, yes, that's good. And then seeing her doing those interviews, and then
yeah,
actually she telling and explaining that she was afraid to catch COVID because of her own health problems.
yeah,
I thought
yeah,
that was,
yeah, because she filmed from home, didn't she?
yes, she did.
Gloria, her name? No, what's her
Yeah,
name?
I'm terrible with names.
I am not. I forgot her name, but yeah, the chief lady in it. She actually
Yes,
filmed a
exactly.
lot of hers. She filmed from home because she's got health issues, so she couldn't go into work. But her parts actually sent the crew to her and filmed it at home, which I thought was really, really good because obviously it was too risky for her because she's got ill. I think she's
Yes,
diabetic or something. I know she's got problems, so it's even hard for them. And it's like because they've all got families and obviously with Chicago PD, I know that's a lot of times you see them had the masks on and you know and things like that, and it must have been hard for them to actually film for a pandemic because it couldn't have been easy. Obviously, I know that's take obviously test every day and and things like that, but it must have been hard for them to actually knowing what was going on the real world, and they're still
and then do
having
it.
to play parts and knowing that people are out there dying day by day, minute by minute, and I'll give my due to them. They all done. I think they're all marvelous, absolutely marvelous, all of them to actually do that through that pandemic. You know.
Yeah,
on
when
the show.
I heard that Jason actually said that all of a sudden it was over and done with, which
Yeah,
I have to say, when I saw the end of season 8, I was actually surprised how
yeah.
well they had wrapped it up,
They,
because it's
yeah,
actually an exciting finish.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Sorry, that's
uh,
my dog barking.
so I was
No,
surprised that how it was, how they did the final episode, but they
yeah.
did a great job, and
I
that's
mean,
that.
Marina, oh my God, she's just such a great actress in that last episode.
Yeah,
She was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely loved her. I think she plays such a good part. And I must admit, Tracy in the other
yes.
set the other night, that her acting, oh my God, she was absolutely amazing. And we can't forget the punch from Jay to Hank. I was like, what? What? Why are you just standing there? And I thought, no, because I know Hank had respect for Jay, and I think that's why he didn't hit back, because he's got a lot of respect for him, I think, and that's why he didn't retaliate. And obviously, he knows, what's going on, and it was really an intense episode. But Haley, she just really played the part well. The way they made her look like she was like with and obviously that's a trigger warning, because I suffer with anxiety since my husband. I suffer with it bad. And when you see someone like that on telly playing a part so well, and you think, oh my God, it's like real life. Seeing
Well,
her play that
that's
part,
it.
I
What
suffer
I
with it.
love about the whole Chicago PD thing, and well, actually about whole One Chicago, because it's also applicable to Chicago Fire and Chicago Med, is they actually they show the different circumstances and how people
Yeah.
react, and
Mm.
good versus bad, judgment versus no
Yeah.
judgment,
Mm.
and how to deal with those
Yeah.
circumstances. It's
Because
like real life.
obviously, yeah, and it is, anxiety is, but Haley was just, oh, Tracy's just such an amazing actress. I think she just done so well. She really played that part well. You couldn't fault her in it at all. She was just absolutely amazing. She really done well. But then they all did, I think, it's like, you watch it and you sit there and you think, oh my God, I know what that's like. When you see her like having that panic attack, and then she's saying things, and I think, oh my God, I can retaliate to that, because that's how I go. When I have my bad anxieties, your mind sort of like twisting. She doesn't want to talk about what she done, but it just come out, when she shot that Roy bloke, and it's like, oh my God. But you can't help it. It's just your brain's like, you just can't help to be in that situation. And it's really, really hard. And obviously, there's been a lot of hate on Hank, bless him. I've seen so much. And it's like, oh my God, really? They're characters. And some of the things people were saying, I was like, really? There's no need for that. There really isn't no need. He's a character. It's a fictional character. He's not real. He is a
Yeah, and
real
quite
person.
honestly, if you look at the character and the way it's displayed,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
what
he
he has
didn't
to
play the part.
endure.
Yeah. He was told to play the part. So you can't put so much hate. But then there was hate on Haley as well, and people. And I'm like, why would you do that? They're just characters. Just enjoy the show. You're going to get these things. Things have got to happen. Otherwise, it'd be a boring show. If it didn't
Well,
have like
what I do believe is,
Hank, you know what I mean? Like, it would be a boring show. It has to. You've got to have a bit of excitement in it. That's what builds it up and gets you, because it makes you want to watch the next episode. Otherwise, if
well,
it just be like normal, then people are not going to watch it. It's going to be boring. It's got to
yeah,
be.
but
And
it
I
also
love Jason,
shows the
and watching
struggle.
him get a smack. Yeah, exactly. It's a struggle, and it's like real life police. I mean,
Yes, and I guess that it shows the feelings people actually have. And
yeah,
I was
yeah,
just rewatching season 5, um, where we have the girl who got raped. Well, several
yeah,
girls. So there's that moment that Marina, I like I said,
Yeah.
I'm terrible with names, on the spot at least. Comes in and she talks to him and she says, I actually wanted that guy to be shot, and
To be shot, yeah, because
I
of,
totally
yeah,
get it.
well, yeah. I'm not being funny, but my sister was murdered 11 years ago by her partner, and I wanted him dead. I was angry. I hated him. He got 6 years. That's all he got. 6 years.
Yeah, the slap
6 years
on
for
the
killing
wrist.
her. And he's living a life of luxury now. And my sister's 6 foot under because she was murdered by him.
Yeah,
And it was her partner, And when you watch them things on there and you see, like, I would, if I had the chance, if I'd had a gun in my hand, I would have shot him. I wouldn't give a damn. I would not have given a damn. I wanted
yeah.
to bury 6 foot. I wanted to do a Hank, like,
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
But
I'm not
obviously I
going to say
wouldn't
it's the
because
right
I've
way
not
to
got
do
that in
it,
me to
but
do it. But I was so
it's
angry
expressed.
for years. I was angry for 2 or 3 years. I was so angry. And in the end, I thought, why am I doing this to myself? I've got to stop being
Yeah,
angry because it's
yeah,
making me not good. And it's not good vibes around my family. So I had to stop. I thought, no, I need to forgive him. Not sort of forgive and not forget, as I say. Like,
yeah.
obviously there's always, but I had to do that to make me have a peace of mind so I could carry on with my normal life. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I don't know what would have happened.
Because anger and hate,
Yeah,
it consumes
yeah,
you. So I have to say that I believe that, when it comes to forgiveness is
mm,
not necessarily about forgiving the other one. It's about being
no,
able to let go of
yeah.
all that
To let
hatred
go
and
of
all
it,
those
yeah, of all
emotions.
the hatred and emotions, yeah. And it's, it's hard. It's really, really hard. It's until you've been in that situation, it's not easy. It's my family. We went through hell. We went through absolute hell because that was my sister, and she should not have been killed. She should still be here living. And she was
Did
only
you
30.
did you know that something was going on
Well,
in her
she
life?
obviously hid it. She obviously hid it from us that he was obviously abusing her, and we didn't know. It's obviously them signs that you can't see. Sometimes people are hiding it. Well, I did for 3 years when I was being abused. I just hid it. I think you get to that point where you're very good at it. You think, oh yeah, and when you're with someone like that, they're sorry. They make you feel like you're guilty, but it's not you, it's them. But they make you feel like that. So you think you're the wrong one. So you just
Yeah,
stick
that's
by
true.
it. You think you love them. You think you love them, but you don't. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
way
also a little bit
your
with the
mind.
lover boy Stockholm
Yeah,
syndrome. It's
yeah. And but he'd done it. And then an hour later, he'd rung the police up and told them that he'd killed her. He'd actually done it. And, but because he admitted to it and he was in remanded custody for about 18 months, so good behaviour, cut it down for this, cut it down for that. And he ended up doing 6 years and he was out after 6 years for killing my sister. 6 years? What's 6 years? Nothing. He should have been hung. But we don't do that over here, unfortunately.
well,
We
that's
don't have
why I'm happy
capital
with those
punishment.
shows, from
Mm,
Chicago PD and also, Chicago Fire, because
yeah,
they really get into those things which are happening, and
yeah,
so we become aware. And when it comes to
yeah. Oi,
speaking out,
doggies. Sorry. Doggies. Shh. Not dogs. Oi. Sorry, can you hear them?
yeah, they sound like they're told by something which is going on.
Dakota, stop it. Go lie down. No, lie down. I can probably hear the fox in the garden. We always get foxes in the garden.
Ah, that's what they
Mm,
react to. I get
yeah.
it. I get it. So,
Mm,
yeah, I don't know if you know it, but I'm about giving people a voice and speaking out, learning to speak up and speak
Yeah.
out. So what you're telling, I, well, you can't say it better the way you did with what happened to your sister
Mm.
than actually what I'm standing for. Like, okay, please people be aware of what's going on. If people just say
If
it's
there's
all
just a
right.
simple change, yeah. Well, it's like children with depression, like kids that commit suicide. A lot of parents don't realise that their kids, they should always look for signs of any changement. They're enjoying something they love and all of a sudden they don't want to do it. They've lost interest. They don't want to do this, or you've got to pick up on signs like that, because that's when you can think, oh, something ain't right there, because they're not doing that now. So you just need to sort of gently curse them in and talk to them, say, oh, you did like this, I had to do that with my daughter because I knew the change in her. You know, it's, you've got to really you must look at your kids and notice the things that they do that's different to what they normally do. And it's just silly little signs like that. You can pick up on them just like that. But a lot of parents don't, and it's too late,
Yeah,
you know?
I'm so glad that you were willing to talk about this today, because
Mm-hmm.
I do believe it's very important to when, especially when you see the signals, especially when
Yeah,
with a teenager.
exactly. Because their mood swings can change so quickly, with teenagers. And it's like, you just got to really, anything that's different, that's not usually them, question them, just talk to them like, oh, why they need to sort of get into their child. So at least if there's something going on, the child will think, oh, mum's interested in, or maybe I should tell them then what's going on. At least that gives them that bit more of a chance to speak out, because a lot of them are too frightened to speak out. They're scared,
Well, that's it.
it's,
We have to give
and,
them the opportunity,
mm,
and with all the bullying going around nowadays,
yeah,
and
exactly.
and of course the kids. I mean, it takes up until 25 years old at least before your brain has fully developed to be able
Exactly.
be uh, 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 to be aware of what the other
Of
is
what's
going
going, yeah,
through, to be
yeah,
empathic. Oh, I think that's such a difficult word.
yeah,
You know what I mean,
yeah.
being impersonal. So yeah, that's and so I was very well, I do believe it takes courage what you're doing. I mean, you in this short amount of time, you've already shared so much with us about your
Mm.
husband, about your sister, about your daughter, but also defending Jason Beghe. So
Yeah, oh, just horrendous what happened. People just really, really need to realise that he doesn't do social media. He really don't do social media.
yeah.
And there's so
So
much going on.
yeah, people don't know that that's true. Unfortunately, you and the other ones, you do something on Jason Beghe's accounts, like a fan. You always say he doesn't do social media, so that really makes a
I swear
difference.
I drum in
Hopefully,
it. Yeah, yeah, I drum into fans. Like I get people going, "Oh, you're handsome, Jason," and I go, "I'm not the real Jason Beghe. This is a fan page." And I've even got it written on my thing, and I'm like, "Do you not read it?" But I get inboxes, "Oh, I really love you," blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Not the real Jason Beghe." He does not do. I have to keep making it clear. He does not do social media. Jason Beghe does not do social media. End of. He doesn't
yes.
do it. He said it countless times when he does interviews. He does not do social media. He will not interact with fans on social media. That is just a no-no, you know.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, when we talk about, um, I'm not saying it correct, but Lucci, you know who
Brian
I
Lucci,
mean.
yeah,
Brian Lucci,
Brian,
thank
yeah,
you. Like I said, when I have to say names on the spot, I
yeah,
draw a total blank. But Brian she stopped doing social media.
Yeah, because
So
he was
it
getting
was
abuse.
harassment too.
Yeah, because he was getting harassment. And it's ridiculous. Why? Why would people do that? Because, you know, at the end of the day, they're famous people, but they're still humans. They've still got feelings, you
Probably
know,
because they have nothing better to do.
to do. Yeah, they're just keyboard warriors. I call them keyboard warriors. They sit
Yes.
behind a desk. Nobody knows who they are. And they're like, yeah, well, you know, we'll have a bit of fun today. And they're just keyboard warriors, just, you know, just want to start and cause trouble. But using somebody's name and being abusive, that is not on. That is just
Yeah,
a
because that's what
no-no.
you recently
Oh,
were
yes,
the victim
because
of someone who pretended to be Jason, and of course you knew he
I
wasn't.
knew it wasn't, but I was trying to toil against to try and find their IP addresses and try and see where they come from, or, you know, because I'm thinking, you're doing this, you're using someone's name, his profile, and the information that they knew about him. I was like, oh my God, you must have literally gone through Google and searched everything about Jason Beghe. And that's disgusting. That's his personal life, you know?
Yes,
And
but
his
apart
personal,
from searching the net and using it,
yeah,
what what I think was really appalling is what he next did to you,
yeah,
and calling you out and all that stuff.
yeah,
So can you share a little about that?
yeah. Well, it started talking like, first it was like, oh, hi, yeah, I'm Jason Beghe. So I'm going, oh, right, yeah, really? I said, he doesn't do social media. And it was like, yeah, I do. I like to do it private, you know. I don't like to let everyone know. And I'm like, okay. And there was about another 4 or 5 that had tried adding me, saying that they were the real Jason Beghe. So them ones I just thought, no, I'm just going to deal with one at the time, try and get their detail. And it was being nice, yeah. I've got 2 sons. And it was just kind of waffling about his when he was divorced, and I'm like, and I'm sitting there, I'm going, oh my God, what? They must have literally just gone into his life and written it all down. So when people ask them, so I was trying to ask questions like, what was it I had put down? What was one of the questions? That was it. What state does what college does your son go to, in what state? It disappeared, and about 2 hours later it appears, oh, my son's homeschooling, they're both homeschooling, which I know is wrong, because I watched an interview and Jason's eldest son lives with him. He said he lives with him now, and he goes to a college in Chicago. So I knew he was wrong there because he didn't have a clue. He was disappeared. He was obviously trying to look on the net, trying to find, where's Jason? But obviously that's private. He's not going to know. I only know by listening to an interview that he said I think he only recently moved in with him last year or
Yes,
something. Said
yes,
on an
that's true.
interview. And I was like, right, okay. I went, oh, really? I went, no, you don't. He went, they're homeschooled. I went, no, they don't. I said, because one, your young son doesn't live with you, with Jason. He lives with his mum. I said, and the other one, funny enough, lives with his dad now and goes to a college somewhere in Chicago. And he's like, nah, nah, nah. I went, no, I think you're wrong. I said, because I've watched an interview with you, supposedly Jason. I went, so no, don't sit there telling me. And it was, and then it was like, then he started getting really offensive, and I was like, oh, I thought, and I went, well, I know you're not the real Jason, because he would not talk to his fans like that. And he's going, you effing don't know me, you don't know me, blah blah blah. I've become a Christian now. I believe in God. I go to church and I'm doing all this, and I was like,
Now
okay,
it's someone
right,
who believes in Christ and is bullying you and
exactly.
cursing and
And then
wow.
he was like, I know where you live. I'm going to find you and I'm going to get your daughter and I'm going to rape her and all this. And I was like,
That's so
beg
wrong.
your pardon? You're going to rape my daughter? I went, you just try, mate. I said, because you won't get far. I said, you don't know where I live. He went, yes, I do. I can find out where you live. He said, and when I do, he said, I'll be behind you and you won't even know it's me.
It
I
must
went,
have brought back some memories
oh,
of
it
your
was
sister.
quite, yeah, it was quite scary because I was like, and then I got onto my cousin, who's a police officer,
Mhm.
and I was like explaining everything. And they managed to get a couple of IP addresses. One of them was from Nigeria.
Mhm.
They were working in Nigeria. So there's obviously a group out there that are trying to
Yes.
get money. Because the amount of people I've spoken to, some have actually paid money thinking that they were going to get a date with him, to see him, a personal date thing, and they were paying like $300 to $4,000. And I was like, oh my God, you're really silly. I said, why would you pay that? Because if you're not, see, it's only because where I'm aware, I've been a fan of Jason for so long and I've watched all the interviews. So I know he don't do social media. I know he don't do this and that. But these people, you've got these young ones that have only been a fan because of Chicago PD and obviously never watched an interview with him. So they're going to believe it. They're going to think, oh yeah, Jason Beghe, yeah. And how much money they're getting out of these people. They must have made thousands because there's been so many. But
Thousands? Well,
it's,
maybe more close to 100,000 or
oh
over,
yeah, and it's like,
probably.
why? Why would you pay that? Why would you think that it's the real Jason? Like they were sending me, he sent me a letter, which I've got. I actually screenshotted it. It's supposed to have been from, what's the name of it? Some film company. Yeah, I've got a big film coming up, but I need this person to help me because it's something like $30,000 I have to come out of this contract that he's in with Chicago PD or Dick Wolf. And he sent me a letter, it had like all the things on it, but you could see the actual letter with the film company, Paramount, that was it, Paramount saying that was real. But the description, you could see it was just printed off. It was not real. And he's saying to me, oh yeah, like you could be my silent partner. All I need is your bank details. And I'm like, I don't think so. You think I'm going to give you my bank details? I went, no, I don't think so. I said, because I know you're not him. He's going, yeah, but I am, and I've really fallen in love with you and this and that. Really? I don't think so, mate. I said, don't even go there. That is not you. You're not the real Jason Beghe, mate. You can't tell me and sit there and say, yeah, you're really him. I said, no, full well, you ain't him. But the threatening when he said he was going to rape my daughter and
Yes,
fight
that's
me
horrible.
and things like that. And it was quite scary because I'm now a single mum. I'm a single woman now because I lost my husband last year. And it's like that fear, it was like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God, what if this person is local, someone that I know that's doing this, and they start following me, if I start getting, and it does go through your head, as you said, because my sister was murdered. So things it does, it sticks in your head, and you're like, oh my God, this is some psycho because he's threatened to rape my daughter. Excuse my French, it's all there. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, what is happening? That's why I just want to make it so fans are aware that he does not do social media.
Yeah,
Jason
in
is
general,
Jason is a very private person. He keeps his kids out of the limelight, and I admire him for that because a lot of famous people they show the photos of their kids, and he doesn't. He's very, very private. He keeps everything private, and that's what I love about him. He's such a private person, and he thinks and he puts his kids first, their life first,
yeah. And I
out of the
believe
line.
that's with the current social media going on, that people need to be
Yeah,
aware of what they are
yeah,
posting, but also
yeah,
what people are asking. One of those, I mean, every now and then I get a Jason Gay, contacting me. Oh, I don't really have
yeah,
time. I've got a spare moment in between breaks,
yeah, yeah,
filming on the set, all that stuff.
yeah.
And then the
Same
first
as with him.
question,
Yeah,
are you married? Do you have children? And I'm like, oh, you're on my
yeah,
Facebook
yeah,
page. Well, you should see something. So I
This
really
is this
spent a
is
lot
it.
of
This
time.
this is that's
so,
that's a
so I said,
giveaway
"Whoa,
straight
wow,
away.
you're going quick."
Exactly. Yeah. This it's just like, oh my god. But I'm just, and another IP address as well was from Chicago.
Mhm,
So there's people local to him, probably sort of aware that he's around the area
mhm.
and are doing fake accounts as well. But it's the money. But it's, I mean, my friend Tina, the one that runs a swap page, she's had it, loads of it as well, being Jason. You know what I mean? And the messages he was sending her, I really love you, my undying love for you. And we would laugh because she was sending me the things and I was like, what is wrong with these people? And there's always different every day. Soon as I had an argument with this other one, the one that said he was going to rape my daughter and everything, 2 hours later, I get another one through. Oh yeah, private account. Hi, I'm the real Jason. I'm really grateful for you for being a fan and running a fan page. And I'm like, what? So you've been following my fan page? Who the hell are you? You know, and it's like, and it is quite, because as I said, I'm aware because I've been a fan of Jason since the 1990s. So I followed him. I know that he doesn't do all this, and it's the young ones, because he's got a lot of young fans out there, would you believe? There's quite a lot of young ones that really like him. And they're gonna believe. They've talked to them the way he was talking to me at first, saying, yeah, I'm a really loved fan. I really admire you being my, oh, but if you want to meet and greet, all this money, they're going to
Yeah,
try everything.
someone
You're
reached
going to
out
think,
to
oh
me
yeah,
saying,
and, oh my God, it's just scary that these people are out there doing it. But getting threatening, that's the worst. I've never had that before, and that really did frighten me.
yes,
I'm
and I
52
think
years
it's so
old.
important to go to people like you
Yeah,
did to your cousin, to the police, talk to
yeah,
others about it, share it, so
yeah,
that the
because
people know that this is
not
happening.
fair on Jason. They're abusing his name. It's it's not fair on him. He shouldn't be having to deal with all this. He shouldn't be. Do you know what I mean? I mean, what if something could actually happen to me and the name Jason Beghe comes up? What are they going to do? Straight away, they're going to be, oh, you've been Mossitin fans. He can't have that. Even though they obviously would find out it wasn't him, but he doesn't need that. He doesn't need people doing that to him, finding out his information, using his name, abusing his name, and trying to get money out of people. And it's not fair. Why would you do that to someone's life? You know, it's not on.
Well, a lot of the things
Yeah, there's a
that
load of
you're
people
wondering
tailoring
about, I
it
believe it
as
is
well.
because
Loads.
first of all, people can do it. It's the because I can. I mean that phrase comes from something and from somewhere, and I believe that uh, your your brother-in-law. Well, I don't want him to call it that way. But he was a person like because I can, and
Mm.
no one, well, maybe people suspected it, but they couldn't do much against it at that moment.
No, no,
And
that's
because
right.
I mean, if the person who's being abused or who's the victim doesn't want other people to know, it's getting pretty hard. And that's
Yeah,
what they
yeah,
prey upon. They prey upon your vulnerability, they prey upon gullibility, they prey also upon you wanting something that makes you shine and happy
yeah.
and look forward to, and that's all day. And I believe that in life nowadays, I mean, it's not easy with everything that's been expected from us. And that's why I love that there are those series from like One Chicago, those really good series who not only question certain things, but
Mm.
also, and that's what I really love about the cool shows is
He
it's
really knows how
genuine.
to. Yeah, he he does the shows where it's is real life. I mean,
Yeah,
when you
and
watch
they do their
Chicago
homework.
PD, all the episodes of the shootings and then of the rapes and murders, it does actually go on around the world. And
Yes.
you know, I mean, And it must be hard for the cast to play parts when it comes to children being raped and murdered, because that is like, wow, it's got to be really hard for them, especially when they've got children at home and they have to go home and they've played this part where this kid was, and it's like, if they've got a little boy or a girl and it's a little girl or a boy that they're doing the character, it's like, oh my God, it must go through their head as they're filming. That could be my child lying there, you know? And it must
It
affect them,
also
because
makes
I
you
know,
grateful
yeah, yeah,
that
and it must
that
affect them
your daughter
because,
didn't have to
yeah,
go through such a thing. But then
oh
again,
no,
it's
but I'm very protective of my kids, especially my daughters. I can't help it. I just, you know, but they've got their heads screwed on. They're not silly girls. I mean, my 16-year-old, she's quite a strong character, and she's like, you know, now she's doing so much better with her mental health, and she's at college. She's doing what she loves. She joins a filming agency in 2 weeks because she wants to do films and stuff. She wants to be an actress, basically, or theatre work, singing. And this has kept her going, you know. And she wants to do her dad proud because he knew that's what she loved, you know. And we always said, yeah, we're going to see you on telly one day, you know. And it's like, and I think at the back of her mind, it's like she wants to achieve that to make him proud, even though he's not here. She wants to do it to make him proud that she's done it. She's achieved her goal, what she wants to do, you know. And it's, you know, it's things like that. And I think, you know, that children today, it's a hard world for them to live in. I dread to think what it's going to be like in 20, 30 years' time. You know, what
yeah, we
their
can
children.
only teach them, give them
Oh,
the good examples, and that's
exactly. But
why
they
I'm
are our
grateful.
future. But they are our future. They're the ones that are building our future now, you know. They're the ones at the next future. We've got lived our future. It's now theirs, and it's, you know, and you want them to be a happy life as best as they can. You want to bring them up. I've always brought my children up to be respectful. Yes, please, thank you. You know, always be kind to people. You give respect, people will give you respect. That's how I've always taught my children. Always
Yes,
respect your elders,
true.
respect anybody, and you will be respected back, and people will think highly of you. And this, you've got to be like that, you know?
Yeah, I agree, and I have to say today, actually, I was going to this big grocery store. Well, it's more like a warehouse kind of thing.
Yeah,
And well, I normally when I drive my car, I've got this disabled parking card. But I decided to go by bike. You know, I've got one crutch on my bike, and then I'm the exception. I can't push a shopping cart, so there's this little basket on wheels that I can use. So I go to my bike and I see this guy. He's parking on disabled parking spot. So I look at him and I say, "You have a disabled parking card?" "No." "Who are you? Are you the police?" And I say, "No, I'm the one who likes to use it when it's needed." "Ah, it's almost 6 o'clock. So later he comes back again, and I'm still packing the bags on my bike. And I say to him, I say, just imagine this, that you are in a lot of pain. And then you can't park there because that happened to me like a month earlier, or not even a month, like a couple of weeks earlier. A similar person had parked his car and he said, "Yeah, I've got the right to do it." Not because he put the car there, but he said, "My father, he's disabled, so I can and use this spot." And I was like, first of all, he didn't
yeah,
have the card. And second of all, I said to him, "Yeah, okay, so if your father's here, I understand it, but your father's not here and you're using it. So what the heck?
yeah.
Do you know what I have to go
We get
through
that
right
over
now?"
here. Yeah, we get that
and,
here
and
as
and
well.
and when it comes to respect, I believe that it's really up to us as parents to take the responsibility
Yeah,
to show others respect. And if your parents don't do it, which can happen, of course, uh, look at your friends, look at the others, and please be more aware of one another and what you're
yeah.
doing.
Sorry, just having a drink.
Oh, that's okay.
All that
Hey,
talking.
hey, but you said something because and that's paraphrased. You said he's like this gem, Jason Beghe. Eh? He
Yeah,
brings light into this world.
yeah,
But
he
I
does.
believe you actually do so too.
Sorry?
Because I believe you do so too. Have you actually thought about that?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, just the work you do, with all the pictures and the quotes, but
Yeah,
also with what you've just told me.
yeah,
You make a difference in this world. I totally believe it by sharing your story, but also, by posting all these things. When there's this quote about the smile or something else. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, it always brightens my day. And now seeing what the change is, you're
yeah,
trying certain things. I
yeah,
think
yeah. I
that's
just,
amazing.
yeah. I mean, I love doing the page. As I said, I really enjoy posting the pictures, and obviously, I've got over 1,500 pictures of Jason on my phone. I've got through where I do all these different edits. I have to get all these different, and obviously I screenshot them off YouTube and his interviews. So I put quotes from his interviews, and he has so many lovely quotes as well. And he's just
Hmm.
so, and I just like trying different things. And because so many people comment saying, I love your edits, I love your page, I love the edits you do. It's really enjoyable page. I love your page. And it makes me happy. I'm thinking, well, yeah, well, other fans like it. So, I enjoy doing it. I really enjoy doing my edits and stuff. I like trying different things, and videos and, things like that. I just enjoy doing it. I really
But
do
it's
enjoy it.
it's it's kind of wonderful if it's your love for one person who gets you to
Yeah,
be all creative. I mean, how great
yeah,
is that?
yeah, yeah.
And
Oh,
and
yeah.
and connect.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, I mean, my dream is to actually meet him and have a photo. That will be like, oh my God. Because next year, me and my daughter, I'm a 16-year-old, we want to try and get to Chicago for a week when they're filming. Because you can actually go on location and watch them. And we're going to try and do that next year because, oh my God, just to meet him and just say hello, that's a
Oh, I
million.
totally agree. And
You know,
maybe I can even join you.
he's such an interesting person to talk to. I know obviously you probably wouldn't get time to talk to me, or what's it, because I know they're filming it, but just listening to him speak to me, it gives me so much, oh, how can I say it, so much passion to hear him, the way he talks. Like, have you ever watched his Scientology
Yes.
video, 2 hour long one?
Hmm.
And the way he speaks is just so intelligent, very intelligent man. Um, and I could listen to him all day on interviews. I could literally listen to him all day talking. I just love hearing him talk. He
Well, he
just,
has a very calming voice, so that's
it,
very
it,
nice
it,
to listen
it,
to.
but it's the way he expresses his feelings.
Hmm.
When he's talking, you can see the feelings that he's feeling, and different. And he could be a joker. Because I remember watching one video the other day where he was talking about some guy from Scientology that, yeah, he was holding his hand. He said, and when he was walking down the street, he put his arm around him and he put his hand in his back pocket and he went to cinema. And all of a sudden he went to the cameraman. He went, no, I'm only kidding or something. And that was it. And he laughed. And it was so, and I was really believing him as well. And then all of a sudden he burst out laughing and went, that's not real. And I thought, you sod. But that's why I love him. He's got such a good charm, such a lovely charm to him, Jason, that you can't help but laugh with him and that's why I love watching him when he plays Hank, because he's got such a serious side and he's got an emotional side. That's why I did that video, the one where his wife Camille died, and I put the song to it. Just watching him with the emotions when he played the part, he played it so well. He's just so good at his character. I just love the way he acts. I think he really gives 100%, and he can really be an emotional man as well, I think. I think he could really, really give that emotion. You know, he's
So
got a
if
very
there's
soft side.
if there's one thing that that watching him has given
Mm.
you or made a change for you, what would that be?
Uh, he's brought he's brought light to my life. That's for one. Since my husband died, obviously I went into a very dark place, very, very dark, and I just couldn't get out of it. And you know, so I just like, oh, you know, I'm gonna put some Chicago PD on. Why not? And I started watching it, and then I started getting into character, and I started watching it, and I was like, he brought me comfort. I know it sounds silly. People think, oh, really? But he's a character. But it's because I've been his fan for so long. He just brought he brought light into my life again by watching
Good.
him, listening to him, and I felt fresh again. That's why I did the page because it makes me happy because I know I'm making other people happy when I put the post up and started doing it. And I didn't think I was going to get many followers. I thought because there was quite a few pages out there, and I always made it clear on there I don't want no sexual or mushy. I don't like all that.
Be
I'm not like,
respectful.
oh, I love you, Magic. I'm not like that. I love him as a character. I love him for the way he acts, and I love him as a person. He's just so fascinating. He's just such a
Yes.
fascinating person, you know. And watching him, he just brings me so much joy. I could sit and watch him all day on telly. He just brings me joy, and he's brought so much joy to me by doing his page and friends. I've made some amazing friends, and it wouldn't be if it hadn't have been for Jason Beghe, I wouldn't have made these friends. You know.
Yeah, that's true. It's amazing to see how
Mm,
this community really can pull together. So that's actually
yeah.
why I was a little surprised when you requested us to do a video to talk
Mm,
about why we would love to see season 9.
yeah. Yeah.
Actually tell Dick Wolf, but also the other actors. Wow, we love what you're doing, and
Yeah.
thank
Yeah. I
you.
mean,
Please go on.
Dick.
That hardly
Yeah,
anyone
Dick
responded.
Wolf is amazing. I mean, he knows how to choose his actors well. I mean, you know, he's. I mean, you look at all the cast. I think they're all fantastic. They're all good actors, actresses, and they all do amazing. I mean, Dick Wolf is just how he's done this one Chicago, brought it all together. I think it's amazing because it's so good. Because when they do the crossovers, oh my god, it's so amazing. It's so exciting. It's like, you know, it's like, oh my god, you've got to watch this one, then you've got to watch that one, and it's like, oh my god, you know, it's really, really good. You really get into
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
you
I
know,
still have to say that first watching his character Voight on Chicago
yeah, on
Fire,
Chicago. I still,
and then seeing Chicago PD, and then I was like, oh, okay, oh, now I get why he does it. And quite
yeah,
honestly, when I coach people, but also those close to me. Um, I always like to show both sides of why people do
yeah,
certain
yeah,
things.
exactly.
And
He had reasons. Obviously, he did go a bit OTT with Casey in Chicago Fire, but at the end of the day, he was protecting his son,
yeah,
which
and
any
I love what well, actually it's of course Dick Wolf who's doing it initially,
yeah,
coming up with those ideas, but him being able to play that character and show both sides. I in life I've worked for a lot of companies before I decided to work full time. Being an
yeah,
entrepreneur and all that stuff. And I had these bosses, these managers, and you know I would be like, okay, I know you don't. You're not always the. I don't know how to say it without
mhm,
scolding. Okay, but you know what I mean. So they were
yeah,
basically a jerk during daytime to
yeah,
the employees. They were not people managers. They just that they had
mm,
the fortune to become a manager. And then I was like, if you have to be a loving, doting father for your children and be really like a family man, because sometimes you would hear those stories. So you
yeah,
would really see those two opposite sides. And that's basically what I really love about about that show. And like I said about Chicago Fire, like Chicago PD helped you pull through it. Chicago Fire helped me because um, they actually said that as first responders, they couldn't
Yeah,
be held responsible for the choices they had to make, whether they would run into the fire or they couldn't, and the struggles they have
they
because of
had.
it.
Yeah, no,
And you
that's
know, when
right.
my client committed suicide, and it was kind of a hormonal thing, so it was something in her
Mm,
brain which made her feel like she,
feel
you know,
like
one day she
she's,
could feel
yeah.
good, and then the next day she felt really depressed. And of course, with COVID and all, it just
Mm,
made it worse. And you know, I was like, what could I have done better? What could I have done differently? But
mm.
well,
That's
and
it.
then I
You can't. You
realized,
can ask yourself questions hundreds and hundreds of times, and obviously there was nothing you could do. It was a point where we got to accept that, like with my husband, there's nothing I could do. I couldn't stop him from dying. I didn't want to see him take his last breath, and I couldn't be there for him to take his last breath. And that was the most hardest thing, because I know when you've got a loved one like he's got cancer or things like, you could be with them, and but because of the COVID, I couldn't. And that was the
yeah,
most hardest thing, to say goodbye and knowing I was not going to see him anymore. And my children couldn't even say goodbye, and it crucified my kids. We had my little granddaughter. She was only, what, 10 months? No, she was 11 months old. Do you know what I mean? So she associates granddad, because he used to call her his little munchkin. So we point at pictures and go, "Where's Granddad Munchkin?" Because she's 2 now. She goes, Granddad Munchie, Granddad Munchie. So she knows who he is. So she knows that he's a part of her life. And it was hard, because she's missing out on her granddad, and he's missing out on his granddaughter. He's missing out on his daughter when she's gonna do her graduation whenever. And do you know what I mean? And things like that. And it's like, it's such a wicked, wicked world to
that's
see
true.
all this happening. And,
That's true.
it's
And
just,
I'm actually grateful for all those shows, not only Chicago Med, but also Grey's Anatomy. They
yeah,
really
because
showed
they did a
how
good, yeah, they
difficult
did
it
a good,
was, you know,
yeah,
with
they did
not
a
being
good
able to visit
COVID,
your
yeah,
loved ones.
yeah.
And I can't comprehend what it must be like to know that someone is going to pass away and
Mm.
you are not allowed to be in that room. I mean,
That's the hardest
heartbreaking.
thing. Yeah, that was the most hardest, because where my husband died in the first part of the pandemic, obviously halfway through May, they changed it where you could go in to see them and you could be with them. But unfortunately, because he died from the early stages of it, like where it first started coming out really bad here, he was like, because I was on the news, I went on TV, I've done interviews on the telly about it, and in the newspapers and radio stations, and it was really emotional at the time, because obviously I was trying to get my point out to people to be safe, and and things like that. And it's just, when I look back and I think, my God, is it really 18 months ago? And these shows
Goes
do
quick.
help. The shows do
Yeah,
help
they
people.
do help.
I mean, people don't realise what some of these shows do to them, to give them that confidence, and see what, as I said, like, I loved watching Jason. He just kept me going through my dark times. I hit rock bottom and I couldn't live myself out of it. Nothing what I was doing, nothing. I just, because I was just worried about my children, especially my daughter, because she was suicidal. She was really, really suffering because she'd lost her dad, and she was a daddy's girl. And it was just like, and as I said, I just started watching some of these other things that he's been in shows, and I went on to CPD. And it helped me. And when I did that page, it was just like, it was a lift up that lifted me up. That really gave me joy. And I love doing it because I know it makes other fans, they enjoy it, have a laugh, and I've made friends, you know, and that's why I love the guy so much. He's just such a great guy, and I just want to physically meet him. Just, you
So
know,
if you
just
could
to
say
thank him
one
as
thing to him, say you were to meet him in Chicago when you go there, what would you say? What's that one thing you would say?
thank you for uplifting my life and making me happy for the last 18 months. A big thank you. Yeah. It would be thank you for what you've done to keep me uplifted, keep me going, and making some amazing friends. Because without him, I wouldn't have done it. I probably still would have been in a dark place. It's
Yeah.
amazing doing something. Just that page it makes me happy because I get up and I'm like, oh, put a happy post for everyone. Happy, you know, happy Jason Beghe fan day. You know, have a good day. Have a smiley Jason Beghe. Because I know they love it. And I get all the comments there, all like, yeah, happy. Oh, I love seeing him smiling. And it makes me happy because it makes them happy. So I'm
And that's
happy.
why I said you are a bright light in this world as well. I mean, you bring smiles to people's faces just because of what
Mm,
you do. So he
yeah,
is your one inspiration, but you're an inspiration to a lot of other people too.
yeah. I hope
And
so.
please be
I really
aware of this.
do.
Well, you see it from all the reactions. People love it. They
Yeah.
tell you that they love the edits, they love the
Yeah, because
pictures,
that's why I
they
put a
see the
picture up
heart.
of myself. I put a picture up and said, right, hello everybody, I'm Joe. I thought I'd give them so they can see who's behind the page, you know, and then obviously others started doing it and I'm going, come on, everyone else do it. So all the others started joining in, putting their pictures up. I thought because it's fun so people can see who's running the pages and, you know, so people could just see who you are, just an insight of, you know, and I just thought, well, you know, let people have a look and see who I am, you know, it's just,
And that's why I love that
yeah,
you're doing this interview with me
yeah. It's
because
just, you know,
you basically you not only give Jason a voice, but you also give yourself a voice,
yeah,
and you make the world a little bit a happier place.
yeah.
So
No, I
you
enjoy it.
know,
I love doing it. I love doing the page and, you know, because I know it makes other fans happy and, you know, and I enjoy it. You know, it makes me happy and it makes them happy. And I like people being happy, you know. If someone like some of them on there going, I've really had a bad day, but seeing your post has really made me happy. And I'm like, that's so nice, you know. I know I've made you happy. I've made you smile. Even though it's not me, it's a Jason Beghe, but, you know, the pages. But it's, you know, it makes people happy and it's that. And, you know, and as I said, if I ever meet him, it would be a thank you for being who he is, making me happy and making other people happy and making friends. You know, it'd be a big thank you. It wouldn't be like, oh yeah, it would just be, I can't thank you enough for what you've done. You know, and
so on
it's
that note,
appreciation.
if you would say something to the viewers right now, what would the last thing be that you would like to say to them, to those who are watching? I mean, we've discussed such a great amount of things. I mean, from uh, your husband dying to COVID to what happened to your sister to depression,
Mm.
but also, of course, about One Chicago, Dick Wolf, and Jason Beghe. So, what is it you would like to say if there's
I
one
would
last
just
thing?
like to say to people, if they're in a dark place and they've been through like, obviously like depression, they're going through anxiety and they think they're alone, they're not alone. There's always somebody out there. My box is always open. The jbeghe UK fan page. If they're suffering, they feel like they need to speak to somebody, I will always be there. My box is always open. I will talk to anybody, which I do talk to a couple of young girls that are Chicago fans, you know, and that are suffering. They don't get on with their parents. So I sit there and I talk to them, you know, not, even though I always make it clear to them that I'm older. I'm not a child. Because some of them are like, one of the girls is only 17. So I look, I am 52. I'm an adult. I said, but I am female. I said, Don't panic. I'm not going to. And if you want to talk, and she was just telling me all her problems, you know what I mean? Like with her parents and everything. And it's, you know, it's nice if I could just listen and give that response, then it helps them, you know? But my box is always open. I will always talk to and help anybody. I don't like people putting hate on other people, because at the end of the day, we're all human. We've got to enjoy our life. And
That's true. We don't
it's,
know.
no, exactly. You don't know what's around the corner. You don't know
Yeah, we
what's
don't
going to
know what's
happen.
going to
I didn't
happen.
know. I didn't expect to lose my husband. You know what I mean? But people, if they're in that place, if it's something they enjoy or something they watch, do a page. Just start off, just put a picture here, picture, and it will help. It helps. It lifted me up so much just doing that page. It lifted me up so much. You know what I mean? Being a fan of Jason since over 20 years now, and it helped me. You know, doing that page has lifted me up, and if I know that can happen to other people, then they should do it. No matter what they enjoy, anything, craft, work, anything they enjoy, just, you know, try and put your mind to it. And, you know, and as I said, my box is always open. If there's anyone out there suffering, they've got no one to talk to, they can always inbox me. I will talk. I will not ignore. It's
Yeah, that's so
nature,
sweet. That's so
you
sweet.
know, and it's hard. And it is a hard life now, you know, for many people, especially through this
That's true.
pandemic, and people suffering, you know. And there's always someone out there to talk to. Don't sit there. Don't let it overtake you, because it's not good for your body, you know, and you end up depressed. And that's what turns into suicide. And it's so sad, you know, that the
Yeah,
people
I
don't.
totally agree. We want to prevent people from um, pre committing suicide or getting addiction
Mm,
or being depressed and
yeah,
shutting off of the world.
yeah,
And I have to say I concur with you. If people want to reach out to me, of course that's okay. I also
yeah,
wrote a book on uncovering your mindset. If people want to understand a little bit
mm,
more about why they do the things they do or don't do
yeah,
the things
yeah.
they do. But most of all, I would like to say to people, please speak up when something is going on. And if
Exactly, yeah.
they
They must
wonder
speak up,
about it,
because what's it? Yeah. But I want to thank all my followers, because I've now reached over 5,000 in like the space of 6 weeks, and that's really made me happy, because I didn't think I'd ever get it that much. I was quite surprised, actually. But yeah, all my 5,000 followers, thank you so much for
yeah, you're
enjoying my
doing it.
Jason Beghe page, and I hope and there'll be plenty more to come. Loads more pictures, loads more smiley, happy, just to make you
Yes,
smile. And if I
you
know
make
it
us
makes people happy,
smile.
yeah, that's it. As long as people smile, if I can make one person save their day, I'm happy.
Well,
I'm very
you
happy.
obviously make me smile, but that's a given.
Mm.
You know it.
Yeah.
So
And we've got
you've
to say
actually
thank
seen the
you to
video.
Dick
I
Wolf,
sent it to
haven't
you.
we? Yeah, we have to say thank you to Dick Wolf, obviously, because without him, we
Yes.
wouldn't have all these amazing shows, and, you know, something to enjoy and watch. And, you know, it's amazing. I think he's an amazing guy. All these
Yeah.
shows and the writers, you know.
Yes.
And
I
thanks for putting
I, I
my
totally
Jason playing
agree.
it. Without my Hank Boy, I wouldn't be watching it. No, I would still be watching it. But no, no, I love watching Jason play
Well,
Hank. He's
yeah,
great.
I'm going to say thank you from the bottom of my
No,
heart. Do
yeah,
you know that
thank
we've
you,
already been
thank you for
online
doing that.
almost 90 minutes?
Really? Oh my God, is it really that much? Oh wow, God,
I mean, I could go on for hours, but
yeah. No, no, thank you for asking me to participate as well. You know, it's been really good, and give you insights of me and why I'm such a Jason Beghe huge fan, and what he's brought into my life. And, you know, I just want to thank him personally. I know he's not going to see this, but I want
well,
to
you
thank
never
him.
know.
You know,
Could always tag them. You never know what happens.
yeah,
And,
I just want to thank him. You know, as I said, he's brought so much joy to my life, just being a fan, you know, and his great work. A very talented man with the most beautiful smile.
True, true. So I'm going to wish you a really good night. Lots
Thank
of
you
sweet
very
dreams,
much.
and hopefully you get to see him when going to Chicago. If you do
I
go,
hope
let me
so.
know.
Oh, I really hope. I'm hoping and praying we do get to go. It's a big if, but if I do, it's just to go up and just thank him for everything. That would just be a dream come true, you know. But we
Well,
can all dream.
dreams can come true. You never know.
Yeah, you
And
never
with all
know.
the work you're doing, I wouldn't be surprised.
Thank you so much anyway. Really enjoyed
Oh,
it.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so
You
much
too. Yeah, you
for
too.
everything
Thank
you
you.
talked about, and again for being the light on the internet
Yeah, thank you.
you are.
And thank you for becoming my friend all through
Yes,
Jason.
well, you can always reach out to me, like I
Eh,
said, and
Jason, see? Look, we become friends because of Jason, see? It's,
yay!
thank you, Jason. High five.
Well done.
Yeah, whoa.
Okay,
Okay
well,
then.
I'm going to let you go.
Yeah,
And again, thank you for all the people who have been watching. And if if you
yeah,
have been watching, thank you so much. Same for
yeah.
all the
Thank you,
actors for
everyone. Yeah,
Chicago, of course,
yeah.
Jason, and here Joe, and all the other ones out there doing those pages. I want to say
Yeah,
thank
they're
you.
all amazing. Yeah, exactly. There's loads, absolutely loads. And and it's not easy work. Sometimes be hard work, especially when you sit hours doing edits like I do. I sit there at night when I can't sleep. I'm like, oh, what should I do with this one? Oh, I do this one. Yeah, I'll do that. I must do about 30 different ones. I'm like, I don't like that one. Don't like that one. Yeah, I like that one.
Well, you can always share them with me. I really love seeing what you're doing. So,
Thank you.
and especially when also when the quotes are there, but the
Mm.
smiles, the
I
different
just love doing his
angles.
quotes. And yeah, so it's just nice. As I said, it makes me happy. So, it's brought me a lot of light into my life after
Yeah, and
this.
hopefully
But,
it also shows other people that by being creative and by showing
hmm
your passion, that's also
yeah,
a way of speaking up and giving
yeah,
yourself a voice, you know?
exactly. And remember, Jason does not do social media. They're all
Please
fake.
be aware
Okay,
when you do
please be
social
aware.
media.
Do not be abused like I did, threatening to rape my daughter and everything because I didn't want to pay him money and I said it wasn't him. And that I don't want other people to go for that, especially young girls. No, that screwed me up. That's not very nice. That is not a very nice thing to go through for someone pretending to be someone and then trying to rape my daughter. No,
Yes.
they should not be doing that. There's a law
So be
against that.
careful. Be careful
Yeah,
when you're
please be
approached.
careful. Remember, any of them, any of the Chicago one, Chicago, they do not interact with their fans unless it's a blue tick. Then it's the original. But they still don't.
That's true.
They only
And people need
post.
to
They will
know
not
that when
say
there's
I
that
want
blue
money.
star
Yes.
behind the name, then it's
Yeah,
very
and they
high.
will not cross it. They will not ask for money. Make it clear they do not ask you for money. They would not do
No,
that.
they don't need to. They've got
No,
plenty of money per
exactly.
episode. So,
Exactly. No, they don't need it. I mean, it's got to stop. It's ridiculous. People just need to really be aware that he's not out there. He does not interact social media at all. He doesn't do it.
and
And
if
he's
you
a very
want to know
private.
the beautiful episodes, then just go to your fan page,
Yeah, go
find the
to my
quote
fan
that you
page.
love,
Yeah,
and just find out where it belongs to.
there'll be more video clips and that coming up that I'm going to be making, like with music and stuff. So I like enjoying doing it, like different clips from different, episodes and my favourite episodes. And I've got quite a few favourite episodes actually. It's quite a few. But the first one I done was obviously the one with the cancer one, which really touched my heart because I've been through watching people in my family die of cancer. So it's quite heart touching, that one. That was very special. And as I said, watching him play that part, he just played such an emotional part and he'd done it so well. To play a part like that, pretending that your wife's dead, and it's got to be hard. It can't be easy, you know.
Yeah, that's what
So
makes him such a great actor, that he can
yeah, yeah,
actually show it, and I'm grateful that he actually, he teaches us a lot by doing
yeah.
so,
Oh God, yeah,
and
definitely.
giving us
Because
an
a lot of
introspect in the life
people,
of
yeah,
someone.
yeah, and a lot of people see him as this bad guy, and he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy. He's not a bad guy. It's, he's just a human, and it's, I think he's just played such a fantastic part. We shall see in the future what happens. Whether you get another smack in the face by Jay. I hope not, because I'll be out there.
Yeah, to
No,
go to a less serious note, I mean,
it's,
for those who are watching, we are now just going totally, not that we
yeah,
were on book, but I believe we are going off book now, just,
yes,
just for the fun of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Have you watched that one reporter, that lady who was interviewing him, and she was basically asking to be slapped by him?
Yeah. Oh my God, some of the interviews, I just literally laugh because it's so funny. And
Yeah.
and in one of these ones as well, interview, he said, yeah, well, I go to bed naked with Hank. I'm Jason. Like, they both sleep together naked. I'm like, well, yeah,
Yeah,
quirky,
that was also
quirky
very
little
funny.
things. And he's just such a funny person in some of the interviews. As I said, the one he did about the Scientology bloke, he really had me. And when he said about walking down the street with his arm around him and he put his hand in his back pocket, I was like, oh my God, that's sexual harassment. That is like, and then all of a sudden he goes, like that. And he's like, never really. I was like, oh
Well,
my God.
maybe
And
we
even
can add a few links to the ones who are really funny. So,
yeah, I'm going to
and I can
post
add
them.
those in
Yeah,
the
I'm going to,
description.
yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to get some good parts from some of his interviews and post them, put them, because he's such a good bloke to watch. I could just sit and watch him for hours. I mean, that Scientology, I think I've watched it about, 30, 40 times, because it's just so interesting the way he talks about it and what happened now and it's just, and I felt so sorry for him and all, because they literally basically drained money out of him, and it was so sad to listen to, like, and
Well, when
it's,
you talk about your sister, I believe that they are
mm,
both on the same level. I mean, it's about someone or some organization who can
yeah,
basically just pull you in
pull
and
you
make
in
you
and
believe certain things.
manipulate. Yeah, no, that's right. It does. Yeah, I mean, very good at manipulating people. It's just, I suppose we all go through these things. And he wanted to clean himself, didn't he? Because he was on drugs and everything, and he wanted to get that out of his system. And fair enough, thinking that it's going to help, but he learnt
Yeah,
the hard way, bless him. But it still made him a strong person, and he's a lot stronger. And
yeah, and
it's,
I'm really again I'm grateful for the role model that he actually is. I mean,
yes,
look
yeah,
at him acting at his age, and I mean he's
yeah.
been doing this for like 9 episodes, so 9 years
I
now.
mean, he's what, 61,
Well,
but he's still
yeah,
fit, very fit man, very, very fit man for
yeah, and I
61.
believe that
It's
people
such a
should
good
take an example,
consideration.
and that
Mm.
okay, he's a smoker. We'll forgive him for being a
Yeah,
smoker.
but then I smoke, I
Yeah,
smoke.
but
I stopped
I also
smoking for
realized
6
that
years, but I
that
started when husband died. So,
yeah, and
you
I
know,
totally get it that it's it's an addiction, and it's
mm,
hard because of the manufacturers. They make it into they manufacture it in such a way that it's really hard to quit. But
yeah.
um,
But it's better than drinking. He could have been an alcoholic. No, same as me. I could have been an alcoholic when my husband died. But I started
that's
smoking
true.
again because I thought, at least if I'm smoking, I know what I'm doing.
Oh,
That's
that's
how
true.
it's. But I'm cutting down. I'm trying to stop again. I will stop again. I mean, I stopped for 6 years, but unfortunately, the stress
Yeah, I
of
get
losing my
that.
husband, I just needed something to, I know it's an excuse because, I didn't really need it, but it helped me, at the
Yeah,
time.
of course.
And I smoke, but I don't smoke a lot a day. I'm lucky if I have two or three, but it's just, when I feel really anxious and that, and then I'll have a cigarette. But
Well,
nobody, it's naughty. Smoking is naughty. Smoking is bad. Smoking's
but
bad.
when you
Bad.
do feel like you're, on your own, and you
Yeah.
have nowhere to turn to, you know where to find me. And
Yeah.
yeah, but yes, it's I like to he's for me, he's sort of like a role model. He brings
Oh, he
joy
is.
to
He's like a
us.
role
He
model to
shows
me.
the different sides of, and not just he, of course, also the other actors.
Yeah.
So and
I mean, I
it
love
really,
all the other actors, but obviously, because I'm a huge fan of Jason. I mean, I've got mugs of him that my kids I always get me one at Christmas. There's always a, a void on there, and then there's a quote on it, and I've got all these mugs, and
well,
I've
now
got
I
a
do have
full.
to ask you. So your husband, was he a fan too?
Yes, he loved Hank. Not loved him like loved him, but he liked his character. He liked because he was like, yeah, he's a good man. That one, yeah, I really like it. And I think that's what sort of made me more to do that page as well. Because my husband loved the show as well, and Al was his favourite.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, yeah. So we used to
Yeah,
sit
I'm
together.
sorry that what happened to Al, that he had to be written out of the series, and the way it happened, that really broke my
Just
heart.
pretty. Yeah. Oh my God, me too. I cried, especially when Hank was at the top of the building. Did you see the bit they cut out from it when he got beat up? Jason,
When
Hank.
he got beat up.
Yeah, he got beat up. Because if you remember, after that episode, when the next one started, Trudy goes into his house and he's got.
Yeah, yeah, I know, but
So he
I
goes,
thought
what
it was
happened
the
is
result of him
he
going
was looking for
all
someone. Yeah.
mad and ballistic on that
But they cut
pole.
this part out. Yeah, they cut this part out. He goes into this pub, like a bar. I think they call it a bar in America. I'm not sure in England it's a pub. Looking for someone, and obviously he'd had a drink, so he was a bit. And this bloke just literally starts smacking him in the face, and he's just so drunk that he can't even hit back. And he's someone else that knew him dragged him outside, and he said, no, who you're looking for has been dead for 2 weeks or whatever. But they cut that scene out, and that's why his
Oh
face
well,
was all
please send it to
battered.
me because I would love to see it.
Yeah, I would.
I always assumed that it was because he beat himself up, being so
No,
distraught.
I did. It weren't too. I was looking like when I go through things, I was like, oh, deleted scenes. I typed in deleted scenes
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
YouTube,
I've seen a lot of those, but I missed
and
that one.
I was like, oh, I said, oh, so that's why his face was all battered because he got
Yeah.
beat. Someone smacked him in the chops. We say
Well,
that's a saying over here, in the chops, or a
yeah.
knuckle sandwich, we call it. That's what I go to my granddaughter. I go, if you don't behave yourself, then you're going to give you a knuckle sandwich. Knuckle sandwich, yeah, knuckle sandwich. That's what we call it over here. Just the English, you know. But yeah, but no, he's a great actor, and I just can't thank him enough for making friends, and having friends through him, and making me happy. And I'm just glad the page is successful. Yay! 5,000 followers. Thank you all. I love you. Thank you, and many, many more to go, hopefully. But yeah, great.
Okay. Well, thank you again.
Yep, you
From the bottom
too.
of my heart.
Thank
And
you so much.
well, I don't think there's much more to say
No.
than we already did.
Yep.
So it's for those who are watching right now. Please go back to the beginning. It's been a really in-depth interview in your life.
Yeah,
And
my life. And having what Jason's done in my life helped me get over dark sides. And just have a listen. You don't have to listen to it if you don't want to, but, you know, just have a listen, see what you think, you know. And I just hope that one day that I do get to meet him one day. I really do. That will be just...
Yeah, it's on my list to do an interview with him.
I just
But
want
not a
to,
stand-up
me
question.
as well. I'd love to even just do this, just do an interview, just to thank him. Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Just to thank him for
You know,
helping
knowing how he,
and, you know.
how he inspires people. I think he's got a lot of inspirational things to say.
Yeah,
But for
definitely.
now, you're the one in the spotlight. And I still want to say thank you for all the work you're doing and putting all those
Thank
smiles
you.
on people's faces, and also for being so honest as you were today. I mean, it cannot have been
Enjoyed
easy,
it.
but you have
No,
shared.
thank you so much. I've enjoyed it, and I'm just glad that I make people happy. That's the main thing. If they're happy, then I'm happy. So, no, thank
You
you.
make them
Thank you for
happy.
doing this. Yeah, I'm glad.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have had so many fans on that page
No, I
and so
know, I
many
know.
smiles.
No, exactly. And the comments I get are just amazing, you know, from everyone. So it's, you know, so yeah. Well,
Okay,
thank
so
you.
nighty night.
Yeah, nighty night. Night, night, night.
And
Yes.
for everyone else also doing their pages, if you want to do an interview, you know, or talk about it, I'm always open for the IG Live. I love doing this stuff. And for those who
Yeah,
want to understand a little bit more about mindset, just hit me up. And I've got an ebook so you can understand a bit more.
yeah. Brilliant.
Anything to get people to speak up,
Yep.
share their voice.
Speak up, the better. More the
Yeah.
better.
Don't be on your own.
So,
Don't let life get the better of you, but
no,
instead
that's
just
right. Yeah,
shine, inspire other people like you
exactly.
do.
Thank you. I try, do try. Do try.
Well, you don't only try, you do it. You get out there multiple times a day. So,
Yeah. No, I enjoy it, so I love it. And it's all thanks to Jason. So thank you again, Jason. If ever you get to watch this, you're an amazing actor, very talented, the best.
yeah, I think you
Yeah,
got the message by now.
yeah. I hope so.
Yeah,
Thank you anyway. Thank you so much.
yeah.
All right. You take care.
Okay,
And
you
good night.
too. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.